When we talk about United Way, I think the key word that we want to use is relevancy. We've been around for 100 years. And what's kept us relevant is understanding that the needs of a community change, and they can change often. We started in 1921 as the Harrisburg Welfare Federation. We were the Community Chest, we were the Tri-County United Fund, we were the Tri-County United Way, and ultimately who we are now, the United Way, the Capital Region. But what hasn't changed during that time is our mission. Our mission has always been about helping our community and lifting the people up. We've always done it through identifying those most pressing needs, finding solutions to those needs, and then ultimately making sure that we measure and demonstrate those results. One of our greatest strengths is the boots on the ground. The deep commitment of these volunteers, of understanding the issues and the willingness to lend their talent without wanting anything in return. A great example of this is Bill and Marion Alexander.
My grandfather, who founded our construction business in Harrisburg, was a tremendous influence on our culture, and he felt that if we were going to be successful, it's because the community was going to support us. And so therefore, in a reciprocal activity, we needed to be supportive of the community. And the organization that best did that was the United Way.
I've always believed that it's so important for all of us to give back. And if we don't ask people to support something, if we don't ask them to contribute, then they don't. My father was a professional fundraiser, so I was raised in a home where it's okay to ask for financial support as long as you also support it.
We simply couldn't help the people that we do without our community partners. The term we use for now is really solution partners, because they're helping us figure out those solutions and enact those in the community. I'm fortunate today to stand right here at the YMCA. They've been partners with us since the beginning. And we work with the Y to make sure that childcare services are being met for those families so that an individual can go to work. This is just one example of the many partners that we are working with to help move people in that direction of self-sufficiency and independence.
100 years is an incredible achievement for any organization to stay in business and to be relevant. And only those that continue to reinvent themselves do survive.
Well, obviously, it's not a stagnant organization. It continues to change and evolve. I think it was in 2014 when they had the community assessment. I think there were 6 or 7 other organizations in our community who came together to acknowledge what really are the priorities and needs. And they came up with 4 focus needs. We now are an organization that supports programs that support the 4 focuses. And I mean, it makes sense.
As you can imagine, United Way will always be there around those basic areas of food, clothing, and shelter. But we know now that academic performance can really determine the success of somebody in the future, of a child in the future. We understand now that somebody's good health can have an impact. Do they keep a job, and do they succeed at a job? We know now that if we train somebody well for potential jobs in the future and what the market looks like, that they won't have issues in the future. The work we're really trying to do is empower people to independence, so as needs change, they have the tools and resources to succeed. This is what 100 years has done for us, and is going to allow us to do for the next 100 years.
Everybody says that this is a great community to raise their children, and it has a good culture. But part of that culture has got to be a recognition that we're not all equal in this community, economically or educationally. And we have a responsibility to those less fortunate. And the greatness of the United Way is it's an outlet for us to be able to fulfill that commitment that we should have to those that are less fortunate.
It's a united effort to make our community a better place.